Hello and welcome to the Great Big Indian Wellness Show presented by iGlobal. I am Bhavna Pandya Barrett, your host for this session. And today we're going to be talking about healthy mind, healthy body with Azmeena Jiva. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this incredible woman. She has been she's a self-development coach, and she has this incredible passion to empower people. And she does it with these 5 steps that are like the keys of freedom to be you. So you can be happy, fulfilled, and at peace. She's also an author, a speaker, personal development trainer and coach. And she's got over 20 years of experience in this. And I cannot wait to speak to her today about healthy mind, healthy body. So, especially over the last 18 months, this has become something that I think so many of us have become more mindful of. We think about our mind and our body coming together and kind of how they work in sync and how they don't work in sync, even more because we've had the time to reconsider health. So, like tapping into your body and creating that positive mindset in accepting yourself, stopping the comparing, I call it comparinitis, like stopping the comparing, stop looking at how green someone else's grass is and water your own grass instead. So today we're going to take a closer look at the emotional freedom techniques that can help you create a healthy mind and body. So welcome, Azmeena. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. And thank you for that great introduction.
You're very welcome. I'm so
It's such a
excited to speak
pleasure.
to you. Really excited to talk about the synchronicities and how the mind and body actually work together or don't work together. It's incredible that over the last kind of 18 months, more and more of us have become so self-aware of this. So I'm going to kind of dive straight into this and kind of say, is there a direct correlation between the mind and the body?
Yes, absolutely. From what I have learned and experienced over the years, because I started my journey with at some point as a personal development trainer, at some point not feeling very good about myself, not feeling very unworthy and down, and that's really what drove me to be passionate about these subjects. And yes, there's a great connection. So I'll take you through some scenarios in life and how this connects. When we have thoughts in our, any kind of thoughts, positive, negative, there is chemical releases which happens in the body. Like Deepak Chopra, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard about him, says in a lot of his work that our whole chemistry, our whole pharmacy is actually within our own body.
Yes.
So there's release of chemicals that happen with our thoughts. But at the same time, release of chemicals also happen when we do physical movements. For example, why do people say, oh, I feel really good when I've exercised?
Yeah.
People do laughter yoga, things like that. So all of those things, yes, they're connected. When we do a physical action, there's a release of good hormones, good chemicals in the body, which then helps us to think positively through the day. And when we have positive thoughts, then our body feels good because our body is more relaxed. When we have negative thoughts, we are in what they call flight and fight mode.
Yeah.
When everything is going in the body where you're supposed to act, but we don't because we can't fly or fight in those circumstances, which are emotional circumstances in our life. Then those chemicals, which are very healthy for us in order to take action, stay in the body, and then they are harmful. So that's the connection. So let's say, you get up in the morning and something, you might have heard bad news at night, or listening to the news on TV is really the worst thing you can do at night. So you get up in the morning and you're feeling a bit anxious. What can you do? Now, sometimes at that time, it's difficult maybe to engage the mind and say, oh, let me start thinking positive. So what I used to do in the past when I was feeling down and I'd get up, I'd go, yes, do some kind of physical actions, jump about, do something that you enjoy for about 5 minutes. It could be dancing or, music where you're just moving, whatever is really practical for you to do and what you enjoy.
It's what they call high vibe these days, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. You change your state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Tony Robbins talks a lot about it, if people have heard
Yeah.
about it. And when I went to his workshop, that's what he was teaching, yes, yes, yes.
Yes, and we talked a lot about creating that high vibe, and I know a
Mhm.
lot of my. So tell me a little bit about how someone can tap into, like, how does someone tap into their
Okay.
mind and body? Like, are there special techniques to this, or are they, things that they could do? Like, people are watching right now. What could they be doing to help
Okay.
themselves?
So again, there's two ways. One is quiet meditation, obviously, going quiet. To me, tapping into yourself means listening to that inner voice, which all of us have. Sometimes they're developed, and sometimes we haven't learned to develop that side of us. It's what they call the right brain, the intuitive, the creative brain. And a lot of times it's been shut down because we are supposed to, think logically, do this, do that. We are told, no, when we are little, who asks us, what do you feel? What do you think? And that's the tapping into you. What am I feeling right now? When we're not used to it, we don't even know sometimes. And I really had to practice this as well myself. And even now, I think I'm probably about 60% listening to my inner voice. So it's that inner voice, you can call it inner voice. Some people have it like a thought. Some people will have a sense of feeling in the gut. When people say, I have a gut feeling, that's what it is. So you follow those feelings. So that's one way actually tapping into. But when can you actually do that? You need to be quiet. That's why I really recommend meditation to a lot of people, because that's another way. That's again mind body connection. When you are quiet and relaxed, then again that rational brain becomes equal to our emotions, and then we can say, okay, what is that little voice saying to me, before our fear and all the other thoughts kick in. Now the other way also is actually tapping your body. So EFT, emotional freedom technique, is actually tapping the body. So it's it connects with getting conscious of, okay, what am I feeling? Even if it's physical pain or it's emotional, then you start tapping. So there's this what they call karate chop. So you tap there and you start saying things like, although I am in this terrible pain, or although my knee is hurting, or although I'm feeling this sadness, I completely and fully accept myself. And then you go on to other points, which are, there's a few points. So you go here and you keep you keep acknowledging what's happening to you right now and all your feelings. So, and then this is the other point. So you go with these points and you keep saying this positive, what's happening, these, and then head, and then here. So these are the points that, if anybody wants to know more about it, I follow works of Nick Otner, who has an app as well, which you can download on your phone. And so once you tap these, then you start tapping again, and you start then saying what is it you want? First, you acknowledge your feeling, and then you say, what do I want? Okay, now I'm accepting this feeling. I'm willing for it to go. I'm seeing it healing. Whatever positive affirmations you can do. So those are, again, mind-body connections. You're working with the body, but then you're using your mind to create positive sentences, positive affirmations. Because, we have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So now you've brought it into the conscious mind, and the subconscious mind will basically act. Whatever you say, it's like Google. When you write in Google pain, it'll only give you more pain. But if you say, how do I resolve this pain? It's going to give you answers for it. So that's how we use the mind-body connection.
Okay, so with EFT, I'm really intrigued with EFT because I have friends who would rave about EFT, and I know it's just like some people say you just tap your wrists and you can tap your head. If, for example, say I was out and I was suddenly having an anxious thought, I could just tap myself and bring my anxiety down.
Exactly. Yeah. And then sometimes you don't even have to completely physically tap all these points, when you're doing this. Although I've seen people, I had somebody sitting in the plane doing this in front of me, and I thought, I know what that is. But people don't know, they think, what's she doing?
Yeah,
but you can kind of visualize, okay, I'm tapping these points, I'm tapping this. Our mind is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Even when you visualize, the body and mind think you're actually doing it.
And it's incredible because sometimes we do these things without realizing we're doing that. Sometimes people don't even know anything about EFT, but you know, you just be sat and you just kind of like thinking, and you're like tapping and thinking, isn't it? And some people have a habit of just tapping like their hands, or you know, and they're doing it unknowingly, but actually they're maybe helping their body, like their body is
Absolutely.
Have a synchronicity with your body, then it
because what this is acupressure points.
Right.
So what you're actually doing, you're actually self acupressures. You know, you're treating yourself. And I go to a yoga center where we tap the whole body. And try it. Yeah, try tapping one arm. Okay, try tapping one arm, and then like that. Yeah, just that is slapping ourselves. Wow, even armpits, because we have a lot of lymph nodes in the armpit, and then now feel that arm to the other arm. Yeah, it already feels lighter.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So basically, we're doing all the acupressure points. There's 365 acupressure points in the body. I mean, much more, but these are the major ones, you know, that. And when you tap these, the energy, this is how the Oriental believe in treating, right? Medicine, Oriental medicine is the energy system. Once you get the energy going, then release happens. And this is what happens with EFT. It releases that energy that's locked in the body by this tapping that we do. So it's a physical way of releasing it.
Okay. And so, so tell me, in your role, like I know you do the self-development coaching as well, to accepting yourself so that your mind and body actually are harmonized
together. Yeah, sure. So first of all, what I want people to realize and accept that we are very unique and special. Who has got your fingerprints in this world? Nobody. Who has got your features in this world? Nobody. Yet what happens is that we don't consider ourselves unique. I like to look at it as a picture of a jigsaw puzzle. Mm-hmm. All of us human beings being part of this huge jigsaw puzzle. Yeah. How special is each piece? That's what each one of us is. We are special and unique. And if we compare ourselves to other people, oh, I need to be like that. Oh, she lost all her weight after she had her babies. Why haven't I lost it? You are not being yourself. You're comparing. So then you take yourself out of that jigsaw puzzle. What happens? The whole picture is not finished. So you are not serving, you know, when you look at the wider things, not just comparing ourselves, but everything about us. When we are who we are, we serve at our best to all the people that are surrounding us. Mm-hmm. So just know that you are special, you're unique. And everything about you, your imperfections and perfections are you. I like to say we are all perfectly imperfect.
That's a fantastic way to almost kind of round it up, isn't it? Because we all have our differences, and we all have ways that we work, you know, rationally or irrationally, whichever way, but we try and overcome these hurdles.
Yes.
And that was to write down list of all the things that you accept and those that you don't, and then balance them out. And I think that's
all the things that you are good at, because we often only criticize ourselves, but we have so many things, good qualities that we have.
I often think that, like, you know, like I'm guessing that you do this in your as a coach as well. Like, I always think that writing things down is so therapeutic. Like, you journal things, or, you know, whether it's a gratitude journal or this is just a journal in general where you are penning down your thoughts. You know, like I remember when I was much younger self, I moved into the UK. I was 17 and I was living with some family, and you know, as a teenager in a new country, away from my parents, I just felt like, you know, with your parents, you're just the hot-headed self, because you can be, right? And then you're in a new environment, you're like, oh, I don't really feel like, what if I'm not accepted, or I can't, you know, disrespect them, or if I say something, I'm going to be rude. So I had this diary, and I wrote my thoughts every day, every evening before bedtime. I would sit and I would just pen my thoughts. Whatever I felt went into this, and then it shut, and then that was it, gone, right? And I never really read back I just wrote. And I mean, if I look back at it now, it could probably be a book about memoirs of like a 17-year-old, immigrant or
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't know what you call it nowadays, but
They're very therapeutic to
it was,
journal.
yeah, it was very, what it did for me, and I'll tell you what it did for me as a young person, is it helped me. Like, I used to be very hot-headed. My mom always used to say, you're very hot-headed. You need to, calm down. Like, and what that did is it taught me patience. It taught me acceptance. Like, I was like, okay, there's nothing I can do about this situation. I am where I am. I want to be here. It's not that I don't want to be here. I want to be here because I want to get educated and I want to move forward with my life.
Yeah.
So I've accepted that this is where I need to be. And I just need to be patient that, it's going to happen. Like, things will move and things will change. And it really taught me that discipline. Like, a lot of people will now say to me, you're so patient. And I'm like, yeah, I wasn't like that as a young person, but I am now. I have been for the last 20 years because that is what it teaches you, right? And so I like kind of just talking to you now, like taking from you all these nuggets as well of like making a list of things you can accomplish, things that are good about you.
Yeah, it just turns
Task.
turns our head, which is full of, oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. It just turns it around. And same with gratitude. We normally think of all the things that are not working in our life, but when you do a gratitude list, there's so many things that are working already in life, and also that releases the serotonin in the body, which again makes you feel happier, and you start thinking, wow, I have got so much. Why am I worrying about this little thing that's here when I've got all this in my life? So
Yeah.
it changes your perspective, doesn't it?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Like, I have had such a wonderful time talking to you, Azmeena. And I think it would be lovely to end this session on the note of that if you don't practice gratitude, we think you should. That, if you want to get your mind and body in sync, practice some of the things Azmeena has been talking about. Think about EFT, like tapping into your mind and body. Think about, making lists. Think about things like, becoming active, like whether it's to go for a walk or a jog. If you have kids, if you're in that demographic, for instance, even just going to the playground and having a little walk around with your kids and seeing them laugh and you laughing is a release of energy that will help. So whatever makes you happy, do more of that. So thank you so much, Azmeena, for your time today. I've had a great chat with you.